This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you?
Boring. Boring. Boring.
Okay, get it work. Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that. That's exactly what you're doing. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
I call again for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, the return of the sausages, the hostages.
Hello, welcome. Lembit Öpik here on Lembit Öpik Live on Unprecedented TV, where we find the facts, kill the spin, and tell it like it is all around the world. Well, there's been an awful lot to talk about recently. We can barely keep up. The Labour Party seems to be in meltdown, can't win by-elections for Toffee. Keir Starmer couldn't get the deputy leader of the Labour Party he wanted. Instead, he got somebody who he fired, Lucy Powell, instead. And the polls are in an abysmal state. If there's an election now, Labour would crash and burn, probably to double figures, actually, from one of the largest majorities in history to a tiny little leftover, a rump of a Labour Party. So they've got problems, and it keeps getting worse. Who could have ignored or failed to see the ridiculous spectacle of a convicted migrant, they say asylum seeker, but I'll say migrant sex abuser, who was released into the public, apprehended a couple of days later, thanks to the generous assistance of the general public, causing David Lammy, that great political colossus, to say, and I can hardly believe he said this in an interview, he shouldn't have been released. We're going to find out why. That's brilliant, David. That's why you're the Deputy Prime Minister. Anyone who's actually been watching the news could have done a better interview than you, David. Really would love to get you on the show, and we'll speak really slowly and we'll use simple words. But that's for another time. As things stand, the country is in a complete mess. We have a record number of boat people as well for this year. It's only October at time of broadcasting this, but record number of boat people have still got the rest of October, all of November and December to absolutely slam dunk this as the worst day for migrant arrivals. Who was it who told us that they would spat the gags and stop the people coming across? Yes, it was Keir Starmer. Well, he's done the opposite, hasn't he? Well, of course, it's somebody else's fault. Presumably, they blame Reform UK. Or is it Putin this time? There'll be someone else to blame. Maybe the climate emergency is causing all these people to come here. Whatever. The reality is we have an absolute disaster area when it comes to the migrant issue. Now, we've been following with increasing interest here at Unprecedented TV the plight of various parts of the country. And we've been talking in particular to one or two specific people. I'll let them introduce themselves in a moment, who are right in the front line of taking legal, contained, non-violent action to try to protect their areas. How's it going? Well, you don't need to hear my view on this. Let's instead get our two experts. It's James Timms. How are you doing, James?
Yeah, not too bad. Thanks for having me on again.
It's great to have you on. You're just a regular fixture now. We're going to make you a star.
feel a bit like the furniture.
Well, it's interesting. You've got more and more interest from the media. I like to think that's partly because a lot of media watch Unprecedented, and we often lead the stories. Just tell us a little bit about your recent experience, and then I'll bring our other guest in.
Well, I mean, we had the protest on the 18th, and it was fantastic.
18th of October, just for those who are watching this in the archive.
Yes, sorry, 18th of October. And it was fantastic. You know, we had people turn up, families, children, and it went exactly how we wanted it to go. Unfortunately, within any community that you get, you are, you know, especially with the amount of migrants that are walking around, you know, tensions are heightened. So, you know, I was on the verge of sort of pulling back with my team to sort of, you know, make a point that, you know, this isn't the route, you know, that we need to be going. We don't need to be arguing with police. We don't need to be creating drama and, you know, putting it out there that we are what people are viewing us as. And obviously with the protest that we did on the 18th, and that fact that we had families turn up with their children as well, you know, it clearly shows that we aren't about that. To have the support of Marilyn and yourself and everybody else, you know, it's just fantastic. So we've actually got in touch with some people that started the original march against the hotels being used for illegal migrants, and we've now come together. So this is only a great thing moving forward, because now, you know, is more minds putting more contacts together and just getting us out there even more. And we're now even got it in the works that we're going to start moving around, you know, to show people that this isn't just about Hillingdon. This is about what's going on in Epping. This is what is going on in Southampton and all across the country. So, you know, we really need to get people to wake up and realize what is going on and actually get themselves out there as a number to stand with everyone else, you know, and help us keep our country unique and keep it as it is.
Remind our viewers, and some may not have seen you before, where you are active and why you got active.
I actually live in the Hillingdon borough. I've lived here for over 15 years, more in the region of about 20 years, to be honest. My daughter used to go to Cherry Lane Primary School, which is a school which is currently surrounded by 3 hotels. There is also another one which is just around the corner from another high school, which is Harlington Community School, where I actually went myself as a pupil. And the increase of illegal undocumented men that are all, I'd say, within the age range of sort of 20 upwards, to just be freely allowed to walk around the streets and do exactly and whatever they want to anyone, with absolutely no respect for anybody in the local community. Spitting, groping, just foul language. And, you know, this is what we're having to normalize to our children in the community, because, you know, nothing's changing, and the situation is just getting worse. And yes, the tensions are rising in just not this borough, you know, is the borough of Ealing and every other borough around the country. This is just becoming a national problem, and we really do have to really get ourselves out there to make something change.
And one example of one of the hotels, this is a huge hotel near Heathrow Airport. Drove past it just a few days ago, actually. And
yep.
that's packed with migrants. So apparently, you said, in some weird concept which doesn't really appeal to me, they've got paying customers and migrants in the same hotel. Yeah,
well, in regards to that, I actually took it upon myself to ring up the Holiday Inn myself last night, and under the assumption that we've been led to believe that the hotel has half opened its doors to the members of the general public. When I was on the phone to them last night, they actually explained to me that the contract that they have, because the hotel is now no longer open to members of the general public, which I find very coincidental, that since we have raised media attention on the hotel, they have now closed doors to the members of the general public. And to find out that their contract that they have to house the illegal migrants in the hotel will carry on until 2028.
2028.
2028. 3 more years under the contract that they have to house the illegal migrants in that hotel, that exact one there.
This huge hotel, which I used to stay in with my late mother, loved it, actually, really nice hotel, is exclusively for the use of asylum seekers, as they're called, but many would call a large proportion of them illegal migrants.
It's just shocking, you know. I'm just every time I look at figures, and every time I have a conversation with someone, you know, just words just don't do it justice, you know, for us having to normalize having these people just doing whatever they want on a daily basis.
Let's get Marilyn Hawes in. Marilyn, good to see you.
Hello.
You're looking radiant, with rage, perhaps.
Morning.
Well, I am enraged, but I sit here I sit here smiling in a way also because the irony of yesterday, some of the Islamic, whatever you call them, were out on the streets in London protesting that there are too many white people in England. Oh,
Really? Is that true, though?
Even in Uxbridge town centre,
yes,
handing flyers out and laying their leaflets all across the floor.
I wanted to get down there in my car and say, "Go back then where you came from." But I mean, honestly, it is ridiculous. But I was also sort of trying to track the Southampton one because I'm from Southampton, and where it started off from the march, doing exactly what James and his guys did. They were starting. There's a lovely road that goes right through Southampton called the Avenue, and it's really attractive, especially at this time of year. And they were starting off in the Cowherds pub, and they were going right up to the Highfield area, which is the north part of Southampton, and it's right next door where these migrants are, right next door to a student residential block of flats. And the police are giving these ladies, they're giving them rape alarms and stuff like that. It drives me mad. You know, it just drives me mad. Just they're going into
crazy.
I find, because this is, you know, where I come from, and I mean, I don't like cities, but I mean, I'm going to get in touch with them to say, but when I put the one we did with you out, Lembit, when I put our threesome thing out on Twitter, there's always an idiot that's going to come back at you, you know, because there are people that, I don't know if you saw it again in London yesterday, where there were placards of we welcome asylum seekers. No, we don't. Not raping, assaulting, horrible, spitting, vile, smelly men. No, we don't. You know, we might
go on.
Yeah, but I mean but I had on my own Twitter account, and I was sort of saying, you know, this is wonderful, you're back, blah, 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 blah. And someone got back to me and said, disgusting, absolutely disgusting. I mean, goodness me, I mean, a child sat in a pub talking, exploiting this child. And I thought, ooh, you're not going to get away with that. So I went back and said, actually, have you looked at the facts of what's going on here? No. I said, I doubt it, because you have to have intelligence to do that. I said, and then I was blocked again. Then I'm unblocked again.
Well, don't get us blocked. Don't get us blocked.
That's hate. That's
gotta watch what you're saying a bit. Let's assume that this is comedic. It's comedic.
Well, I was, yes, I meant
it's
it.
It's satirical.
I was actually fed up with it, and I said, "You're making wrong assumptions." That little girl offered to speak. She was articulate. She spoke of the fear, and I don't blame her, of going to this school and the general area. And there was an army of adults around her, off camera. She did not just rock up in the pub and sit in the pub garden to tell her stuff. Her mother was sat next to the person interviewing her. So please, if you're going to start slagging me off, would you please make sure you've got your facts right?
Damn right.
Go on, James.
You will truly. My advice to James was this morning when I spoke. I said, you know, look, you will get hit back. You think that they push you, they intimidate. They are a subculture that are envious when people have a voice in front of a camera that goes out on air. They couldn't do it, and they're jealous that you can, and why should it be you? But when you get a feeling that these people want to set you back, you come back stronger. You just you come back stronger.
Bear in mind, though, well, you call it subculture, it's a very provocative term, but lots of people who don't live in the areas most affected saying, oh, we do welcome them. The Green Party, oh, come on in. They're going on about it. To some extent, the Liberal Democrats, they claim, my old party, they claim that they want to control the borders and everything else. They want to dissolve the border. They want to get rid of the border. They want us to be in what's called Schengen, which means a borderless Europe. So how do you control anything?
I can remember years ago saying to my dad, and my dad accused me of being racist, and I'm not. And I can remember examining Enoch Powell's speech in fine detail. He was not a racist. If you read the whole speech, he was prophetic, he had vision, and it's happened exactly like he said it would. And I have sat on media and I've read the whole of his Rivers of Blood speech. It's not racist. But I said to my dad at the time, you know, why are they opening the borders? You know what? They shouldn't open the borders. It's going to be, they come from all these different ethnic backgrounds, all different types of culture that are not British, and it's all going to come over here, and it's going to. And I think, I can't remember which one it was. Was it Suella Braverman? Someone said an invasion. It is an invasion.
Yeah, yeah.
And the
I mean,
moment
we've had grief because
they are illegal before they've
James.
even done anything wrong. They are illegal. We wouldn't be allowed in without
no,
our
of course not.
passports.
James, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, in regards to what you were saying, Marilyn, I mean, we've myself and others have spoken to parents from Harlem Community School. One of my friends is actually a parent that has a child at the school. And yes, it is a shame that, you know, children that want to speak up and have a voice, you know, and show their own concerns that are, and because of that, are now being deemed as racist and far right, you know. And like Marilyn said, fair play to the little girl that spoke up and was not afraid to put her voice out there. And due to complications, we've now had to revise the next big event for ourselves going forward. Which we've also been getting a lot of stick for as well, because it's going to be on Remembrance Sunday, and purely for the fact because we're not disrespectful. We understand that, you know, at 11 o'clock, you know, people are going to want to be paying their respects to family members, friends, and stuff like that. But this is going across as a Remembrance Sunday march. This is to get people out there and say, you know, these are the people that fought for our country. These are the people that gave us the power of freedom of speech, and to be able to walk along the streets and, you know, be free to walk where we want, as long as obviously we don't, you know, you don't take it too far, you know. But at the end of the day, these people have fought and died to put us where we are today. And we can only do our duty by upholding and keeping going what they have done to get us where we are today.
Quite right.
And I'm not being funny. If that makes us racist for the fact that we are proud to be in this country and proud of our history, then that makes 68 or 70 odd million people in this country all racist. So where does it stop? We have to speak up for our communities and our kids.
I was just going to stop you for a minute. We've got to go to a quick break. Claire Dyer, who puts herself in the front line in so many different subjects, does great work on dire consequences. Please do subscribe to Unprecedented TV. You'll find us on YouTube, and have a look at Claire Dyer's shows. They have tremendous power and a pretty good insight into stories that the mainstream don't like to cover, but we do. That is Dire Consequences with Claire Dyer, who does sterling work raising the subjects that other people may not want to talk about. With me here on Lembit Öpik Live, we have James Timms from Hillingdon and Marilyn Hawes. You haven't actually mentioned your charity yet. Just remind us of your charity, Marilyn.
Yeah, freedom from abuse, and it is about. That's why I so support what James is doing. It is to prevent a harm to children. You know, the UNICEF, their slogan is that every child's human right is to stay free from harm, and the only people that can stop that are us adults. And it's a good thing to do, to stand up and keep people safe. It's all very well for these do-gooders in their leafy lanes of suburbia going, I agree. If the Ukrainian children, we should have taken them in without a doubt, absolutely. but not these. They're chancers. These people that are coming in, aren't they? You see, they're chancers, and they. It's bonkers. Then some of them European, what do you call it, economic migrants maybe. But how difficult would it be to stop them by just stop giving them the goodies? No, you don't stay in a 4-star hotel. Do you know they're now giving them driving lessons? What?
Yeah.
At £34 an hour. Giving them phones, giving them nice food, clothes, money, spending money. If you stopped the goodies straight away, they would very quickly stop coming.
Did you say driving lessons? You said driving lessons.
Yeah. And which driving lessons are going at about £35 an hour at the moment. And I actually got told this information by a younger resident of the area, that she said, do you know what? She said, I've not long just finished my driving lesson and I had the weirdest conversation with my instructor after. So I said, okay. So she elaborated that, oh yeah, now I'm not 100% on what actual driving firm it is, but they said, yeah, now they're fully covered by the government to go there and give them free driving lessons.
Yeah, and I was contacted by a guy who's seen me on media, and he contacts me and up in Scotland, and he sent a text message to say, did you see they're now giving them driving lessons? I went, mm-hmm.
You know,
I mean, we even had a contact that got in touch to say that obviously, like when I explained that we've been having the coaches turn up with people arriving and stuff like that, even one of the other local community areas having mass deliveries of mobile phones being dropped off to them, so that way they can then be distributed to the migrants.
That's
or the undocumented illegal migrants. It's just insane. It really is.
I'm doing a little bit of an experiment. I don't know which weekend it is. First weekend in November. Yeah, weekend after next. That's right. I've got to go up to Nottingham. Now, Nottingham, I suspect, has got a lot of migrants, I would imagine. It's a university city, as you know, and I have deliberately booked myself into the Holiday Inn.
Oh,
I want to know if there are migrants staying there, and in which case that's going to put what they've said to you in a cockhat, and we can chuck it away, can't we? Because I just want to know if they are. So I don't know.
Well, I did actually originally start by looking online. So then it obviously asked you how many days you want to stay and yada yada yada. So then all of a sudden I put in 2 nights instead of 1 night, and then all of a sudden, from the calendar being completely all the numbers of the days being all in white, so being able to highlight and select which days you want, I thought this is very strange. So I was then scrolling through November, December, January, and I thought, but they've said they've opened the doors to the members of the general public as well. So then I thought maybe it's because I'm putting too many days or too many nights in as a stay. So I then stripped it right down to just 2 adults and 1 room for 1 night, to then see that even all the way up until February and March, I believe, was still unavailable. So I thought, okay, well, let me actually give them a ring. And then that was when I had the information handed to me over the phone that the contract to have the illegal migrants there will not be ending until 2028.
Stunning. It's absolutely remarkable. And what bothers me so much about this is that, aside from the fact it's probably pushing up hotel prices for everybody else who's going through Heathrow Airport, because that's a major hotel for Heathrow, it just means that they're planning for the long term. Question for both. Now, time always flies when I'm talking with you. You'll have seen the story about the escaped.
That is just absolutely shocking.
Epping migrant still on the loose, as David Lammy admits, Ethiopian sex offender is at large in London. That was before they caught him, but
I believe it was in Kensington Park, wasn't it? They caught him
somewhere like that. It was absolutely amazing. The story here is this man was accused of fiddling with a child, basically, and I think he offended against 2 women, a girl and a woman, and they walked him to the train station, gave him money, said bye, and these people think we should trust them with digital ID to make everything safe. It's absolutely breathtaking. Like I said before, David Lammy made this ridiculous interview when he said, I can't impersonate him, but he was asked about it. And he said, oh, yes, they shouldn't have let him out. I've instructed them to find out why.
Oh my God.
Even a child could do better than that.
He said he was livid.
I mean, how many more people, i.e. women or anybody in general, how many more is it going to take to be attacked or groped or spat at or bad management of a prison that, you know, are holding people that are being held accountable for their crimes against members of the public or, you know, in whatever crimes they've done. And yet we're just supposed to accept, oh, this is how it is going to be.
But why can't
it's just absolutely shocking.
I just don't understand why he was put in prison in the first place. Why wasn't he immediately deported? Because that's now what they're saying. He's now going to be deported this week. Well, why wasn't he deported when he was caught? Why should we have to pay prison places for people that are raping and murdering? Look at that poor girl that went off duty and was stabbed with a screwdriver 20 odd times in the neck. I mean, and it's absolutely outrageous. So you think, well, how many things don't get reported? Because the weird thing is, if you try and jump across channels, so if something like we're doing now, or something comes up on GB News or Talk TV, if you zip across to Sky or BBC, it's not even reported. Yeah. And you'll love this, Lembit. You'll love this. I was driving around the other day and I was listening to Nicky Campbell, and he said
on BBC.
BBC. So apparently the public have decided that BBC are the most trustworthy media. God, it's so sanitized. It's unbelievable.
Don't even get me started on the climate hoax. Ridiculous. At time of broadcasting, it started snowing in Scotland recently, and they go on about a climate emergency. It's just so awful. I have to say, there's another story I found which bothers me. I'm cantering on because we haven't got very much longer, but there was a story that 9 out of 10 councils would be housing asylum seekers by the end of the year, and that's the Home Office prediction. Number of local authorities housing migrants sat at 82% in the summer. That means 4 out of 5 local communities are dealing with this. And it's gone up, and it's projected to hit 92% by the end of the year. The Express did the work.
Absolutely shocking.
But when are people, other people like James and the people in Southampton, when is this going to spread? Because everybody seems to be sitting. Well, not everybody, because you're an upstander, James. But you know, when are people going to be around the country saying we are not having this anymore? They just go, oh, isn't it awful? And nothing happens. And I still say, if you fly up to Scotland and you look down at green and lovely England, there's plenty of spaces to build a Nightingale camp, if you like, in the green belt there, wherever you want to be, brown belt, wherever you want, right away from any members of the public. It could be secured, it could be run by the army. We haven't got many of them, have we? But and you put tents there, and you don't leave ever until you have either been deported or you've been accepted. Why is it so difficult? Why is it so difficult to stop all the goodies they're getting? Because they want the world to be brown. They don't want. They
that's
don't
a big
want
statement. I don't know about that. I'm not sure I agree with that. I just think it's incompetence. I think
it is incompetence.
I think it's two things: incompetence and the fact that the Labour government, in particular, is terrified of losing a block vote.
Well, that's it.
Yeah,
well, that's right. Yeah. They are.
And so worried about offending everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely.
James?
So, you know, at the end of the day, this is like Marilyn's saying about Southampton, and obviously the issues with Epping and all the boroughs around the country. Now, for us personally, moving forward, you know, the 9th of November is going to be the next big one for us. You know, and obviously going forward from that date as well, we are going to start, you know, getting on the road and actually showing areas like Epping that we are willing to come and show our support, Southampton and any other boroughs But yeah, we really want people to see now moving forward for everybody, you know, because we need everybody to pull together with this. You know, we want to show people that these people that fought for our country, these people that have made the country what it is today, it's not a bad thing to promote that. You know, and we have done this every single year. You know, Remembrance Sunday comes up, you know, and we've had flack from members of the community saying, you know, it's very disrespectful. You shouldn't be doing it on a Remembrance Sunday. You know, this is about paying respect and, you know, showing our solidarity. And this is exactly why we're doing this, because this is such a massive way to make people see that, you know what, we're doing this for all the right reasons. You cannot knock us for what we are doing. Absolutely. We are out there. We are speaking up for a community. And if it means we have to go on the road and go and turn up at Epping or turning up at Southampton or even turning up at anywhere, we will do that, because now we realise, like Marilyn has said, and like yourself as well, we need to show solidarity. We need to come together as one, because the more we come together, the louder our voices are heard, and the more chance we've got of somebody actually saying, do you know what, the country has had enough. We have to do something about this. It's just getting out of hand.
Before you come in, Marilyn, tell us about the details of that demonstration.
Sorry, okay.
If somebody wants to join.
So that's going to be at Mulberry Parade, and that will be on Sunday the 9th, starting at 12:30. We will take a walk from 1 o'clock up to the Crown Plaza Hotel, where we were situated before, and having people give some speeches and give some information as to why we were there and what's going on. That's the flyer there that you can see. So we would love as many people to come. We're going to have poppies on sale there through the Royal British Legion. We're going to have charity boxes there as well. So all donations welcome. We would love to see as many people as we can there wearing a poppy. We've got more banners made, more people turning up. We're going to have. We've encouraged people to print pictures of family members, print pictures of friends, of people that you know of who have done their duty, that have gone out there and risked their lives for the country that we live in today, and print that picture out, get it on a big stick, and we will put them all out there, and we will show people that this is about these people, this community, this country, and us being one and not being divided.
Marilyn, you wanted to come in.
I was going to say, did you see up north in one of the Muslim councils, they have now stopped remembrance celebrations?
Yes, I got told that by somebody yesterday.
Yes, yeah, they're not going to be allowed to do it. Who in their right mind isn't? Why aren't they uprising and saying, "Don't you tell us what we can do"? Is it a Muslim? We've got about 80 Muslim councils or something in this country.
I believe it's something in that region.
It's something like that, but I don't know. I don't know where it is. It's Burnley, Bolton. Somewhere up north that has a Muslim council, that they are now not going to be going ahead with the honouring of, as you say, people who died, and they're not all people that go back to the 1940s. Let's not forget, you've got the people that have been in Afghanistan, people that were killed over there, not so long ago. So.
And there's also the awkward reality that there'll be an overlap between those councils and the ones that were involved with the grooming gangs. Let's call them by their proper name, the rape gangs. Where once again, the government's in deep trouble. There's various survivors of grooming. Let's call it by its name of rape. They're basically issuing solidarity with those who quit. The government's desperate to try to separate it all, but it's just becoming a perfect storm.
I mean, it can't. What I don't understand now, they're going to say it's going to take months to find. Why is it going to take months to find a chairman? What they want, of course, they never wanted it in the first place. But what they want is someone they can manipulate, someone that isn't. Because those girls,
they want it to go away.
They want it to go away, and the girls that already had it whispered in their ear, play down the ethnicity. No way, and that's another reason why they're leaving. But they should. Why hasn't Starmer gone to meet them? Why hasn't Starmer sat down and said, "Well, look, okay, why do you tell us who you would trust. You tell us. I think it's a crying shame that they didn't want Jim Gamble, because Jim is brilliant. I've known him years, and he set up CEOP, child exploitation online. He set that up. He set up the Virtual Global Task Force, and he didn't get on with the government because he's outspoken Irishman and he's brilliant, but because of the sensitivity that it was police people that didn't listen to them, social workers that didn't listen to them, well then ask them who they want. Why? I just don't understand why. And it has to be because they want to gaslight people, and and for judges and lawyers to say, oh, they don't want to actually get involved with it because it might sort of cause them taint their name or their reputation. That's not about. If you are a judge and you are a lawyer, you are standing for justice and justice to be seen to be done. I don't think you have the right to ignore something you've been asked to do. I mean, I was in teaching, so it's not saying, oh, you know what? Oh, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to teach.
The thing that made me laugh watching the news during the week was that the first undocumented illegal migrant that got deported out, then jumped on a boat and came straight back to the country again.
And the first, and what are the French doing? Absolutely diddly squat. I mean, they can't.
Hold on a minute. The one in, one out. He's gone out.
If they get their feet wet. Also, the first ever guy who did this is due to be let out at the end of the year.
Can I just say one other weird thing about it? That basically means if one guy comes across 10 times, does that mean we have to take 10 asylum seekers from France? And even more fundamentally, if 50,000 people come across in boats and we get rid of them again, that still means we have to take 50,000 more people. It basically means people traffickers are now in charge of migration policy.
Did you see
the Navy? Get the Navy out there, policing the waters on our side of the waters, and just be done with it.
And then just take them back straight away.
Did you
just turn yourselves around, or we'll turn you around, and you go back. You are not welcome in this country. If you are willing to do it the right way and come across and be a valued member of the country, contribute towards your community, pay your taxes and pay everything else like we all have to, like the people that have done every single day of their working lives in this country.
Someone like him,
do it properly, no problem. Be like that, not a problem.
That's Ed Davey, the leader of the Lib Dems. He's maybe showing them how it's done. It's a bit cheeky by my team there.
Honestly, it's just absolutely ridiculous. It really is.
I think it was Lammy that said when the one was deported and came straight back in again, it shows the system's working.
That's amazing.
It shows the system's working.
Deputy Prime Minister.
The matrix of this person flagged up that he come back in again.
Right, I'm going to give you both last word there. Where can we find out more about your charity, Marilyn?
Oh, online, freedom-abuse.org, and we exist on donations. I don't get paid. We exist on donations, and it is that's why I rely on the media, because I always hope, if 1,000 people put £1 in, that's £1,000. That means I can go and train a whole school for a whole day and another day as well. So I'm passionate about it. I really will. I always will be, because my 3 sons were abused. So that's what makes me passionate. And it's the same with James, because you got that history there. If your children are harmed, I'm on like a lioness if anyone to get near. I'm terrible. I watch people all the time. I've got a trained eye. I have also picked up people that have been out on license, and I've got that feeling in my stomach, and I've gone, that's not right. I'm sure that's not right. And 3 times, one was in Milton Keynes in the shopping centre there. Another one, I was in Watford at the In2 centre. There was, who does this? Floor to ceiling glass, and little kids going on climbing, legs wide apart, shorts, leotards and all of that. And I noticed this guy that was sort of like standing on the ground, looking up and moving around. I thought, I don't like this. So I took a photograph of him. I took a photograph of this guy in Milton Keynes. that was just sat watching the Christmas children going around the Christmas, you know, the sort of like thing going round and round and round with Father Christmas. And I took a photo of him, and both of those were out on license. And then I got another one in a library, and there was a children's circle in this library, and I thought, this is very odd. Why's that guy just standing there like that? And I thought, it's the reading circle day, is it? Right. So I went back, and he was there again in the same place, right? I thought, no. So then next Thursday, he was there again. So I took a photo. I went to the librarian and I said, that man is a creep. Find out. Here's his picture. And again, he was out on license. And it's all about observing and think that doesn't feel right. And I did a training course. I trained Lancashire Police several years ago. And the chief constable was there, and he said to me, "You're quite right, love. If it don't feel right, it ain't bloody right." And it's true. Your
shocking.
Alarm bell. Your instinct is
absolutely shocking.
And people don't want to look outside the box. They go like this. They don't want to look. So by doing those three things that I so vividly remember, children have been saved just by that. I mean, swimming pools. Oh my God, I'm on it in a swimming pool. Why is that man just watching? Why is he now suddenly diving under the water? And you know, I know people that have been abused in public swimming baths under the water by someone that's dived in and been groped.
Let's we'll do a whole program or two on that on another occasion. But I want to give the last word to you, James. Remind us again about your demonstration and where we can find out more about it.
So we've plastered it online everywhere now. So it's all across Facebook, TikTok. I believe it's on Instagram and TikTok, Instagram. It's everywhere. We are flooding this as much as we can, so we can show everybody that, you know, this is going to be a continuation from what we did on the 18th of October, and it's only going to be great things moving forward.
James, because I don't want Lembit to just finish it. Can I ask you, can you WhatsApp that to me? And
yes, of course.
Out on my own Twitter, I got quite a few people that follow me on Twitter, and I'll put it out there again. I can't be there because otherwise I would. I can't because I'll be sussing out the Holiday Inn in Nottingham.
But yeah, Sunday the 9th, 12:30, Mulberry Parade, UB7 9AE. People, please come show your support, and we would love to see you there. There'll be poppies available, and everyone's there to be there for the same thing. So, you know, please don't be scared to turn up. We're all there for the same thing, and this is you know, doing this is only going to make it more raise more awareness for other boroughs and other counties. And while I'm on here with yourselves, we will come and support you, Southampton. We will come and support you, Epping, and everywhere else. So watch this space, and let's see the good things start to happen, and let's get this show on the road, so to speak.
James, Timms, Marilyn Hawes, thank you so much, and there's so much more.
Thank you.
It's becoming a weekly occurrence, and let's just keep it going. It has to be discussed, and we discuss it here at Unprecedented TV, because we're not going to just let this happen. I hope you found that interesting. It may not be the most pleasing subject, but we have to cover it. That's James Timms, who's active on the ground. Marilyn Hawes, a lioness when it comes to protecting children, particularly against abuse. I'm Lembit Öpik. That was Lembit Öpik Live. Do have your say, and please do subscribe at YouTube to Unprecedented TV. The numbers are going up. If we can get them to go up even faster, that would be fantastic. Thanks very much for watching. Have a good day.
Immediate ceasefire in Gaza, the return of the sausages.